Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for Sunday, and it's the weekly edition wrap-up on this football day where America gets ready for who's going to win today. We've already seen the Philadelphia Eagles won. Now it's the KC against the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be a great evening for football, and then we get on with business. But there's a lot going on in these markets. So let me bring you up to date on the news first before we get to the weekly charts. You have the Chicago Federal Reserve December National Activity Index. That's going to come out at 7:30. We get December new home sales. That's at 9. We get the Dallas Federal Reserve coming out with the regional manufacturing outlook for January at 9:30. But then we get to the more interesting things. Colombia decided to not take illegal immigrants in the U.S. that we were deporting because they say they were on a military plane. Why does it matter what type of plane they're on? We're not invading them. The Trump reaction was swift as can be. He hit them immediately with 25% tariffs on all goods, which will go to 50% in 1 week. So from today, next Sunday, 1 week. And to President Petro, travel bans have been issued and visa revocations on all government officials, as well as party members, family members, and supporters of the president's government. This is just the beginning. He will ratchet up and ratchet up. But what we've all been waiting for is what would he do? Because the president said he was going to raise tariffs on February 1st. That doesn't mean he has to, but here you are and you're seeing the weaponizing of them right off the bat. So we will see what Mexico does, Canada does. I don't believe China is going to be immune from tariffs unless they do something as well. But it was easy to pick on Colombia. They gave them fair pickings for it, and that's the thing. The Middle East, as you can imagine, another flare up there. It appears that Hamas, while they released four prisoners on Saturday, they swapped one out. That's not what the deal is. Both sides had to approve lists, and they said for technical reasons. What does that mean? So immediately, Israel blocked the return of tens of thousands of people. They did release the prisoners that they said, but they're not all getting returned back into, as you can imagine, Gaza. And we're seeing different countries like Jordan saying they don't want to take any of these. Egypt, same thing. They don't want the people. Why? They don't want militants. That is the problem. Nobody wants the people, and we will see what happens. But you're getting the flare-ups beginning, so just be ready. In the U.S., as you know, we're going to see more confirmation hearings, a sweeping amount this week. And so far, the president has won them, but these will also be difficult that he's got ahead of him. So we will see just how they're going to work out. As for the marketplace itself, well, I walked in, and when I saw the news on the tariffs with Colombia, I thought the dollar would get a bid, and you're up 20 points. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I thought that would be bearish on the stock market because it spooks people. What is the president going to do with all these tariffs? And he puts them on. I don't think it's bullish, the stock market. It knocked down the energy prices, but they looked a little overbought. And you gave a temporary bid, the word is temporary, into the bonds and notes, but they are getting a bid. It's another uncertainty that the market's dealing with. And as you can see, Bitcoin's responding with a $2,600 drop right off the bat. In the gold market, you're down $7 at this point, but remember the phenomenal run-up this market has had. Silver's down 25 cents, and copper's getting hit. In other words, tariff scares, the first thing you're doing with them sort of spooks the market, but I would think gold stands out different from that, and we'll see if we're right or wrong on that thinking. In the gold market, as we take a look at how you're at through today for the month, you're still up 4.5% for the month, nearly 5%. I take that back, 4.96. And if you were to finish here, this would be an all-time high close. Now, we have the rest of the week to go, so we don't know where that's going to come in. When we go to a weekly chart, you also are over the all-time high. You've held on pullbacks, that 18-week average of closes. Market's done as I was hoping it would. The market has come back up to these highs, and that's where I thought resistance off a weekly chart would show up. And if one were long, I was telling my clients that on Friday, take something off the table, and we'll see if the market backs off or not. When we look at the swing line, you have higher lows, higher highs, bullish. The 18-week average of closes is here at 26.86. I don't know that you're going to return to it, but even if you did, and I realize that's almost $100 an ounce lower, on the bigger picture, that would still be bullish. You'd have to get under 26.05 under the current pattern in order to negate the bullishness on the chart. But I can see where the resistance comes in from this week's high into the upper Bollinger Band in an overbought market on a weekly chart. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, you're moving out to new highs, which makes sense as the industrial metals are feeling a bit more weakness than you are in the gold market. Silver's not able to get over the 18-week average of closes, whereas gold's hitting its upper Bollinger Band. Copper market pulled back and fighting a battle at an 18-week. And again, China right in the sights of what Trump wants to do or doesn't want to do. Platinum market having trouble getting beyond the 100-day average to the 100-week moving average. These are weekly charts to the 18-week moving average. You corrected an oversold condition. You have the swing line up, but the bias down. This market has to close back over 981.60 to get bullish again. And if it does, you open the door for the 1025 area. It hasn't done it yet. In the dollar index, you lost your bullish momentum. Unless it's regained, this chart could sink back to a combination of price and the 18-week average as it looks for its support. So it's an interesting week. It was a week, in my opinion, to take some money off the table in the gold market, not the whole position, parts of your position, and be positioned to buy the market again. We'll see if the metal markets want to go, like I'm saying, especially the gold. That's the one I care about. If the gold market wants to respond to this action against Colombia and how the market views that. But the president got his first look-see at a country standing up to him, and the action against them was swift and vicious. I mean, a 25 to 50% tariff is not something to not look at. I'll cover all that and much more in the mornings. At 6 in the morning, I start recording typically my morning subscriber video. You need a user ID and password to view it because in order to see it, where I say, I want you to buy long here. This is where your stop is. Here's where you're at. And we track those trades until they're closed out. Well, you need a user ID and a password. I cannot put that out to the general public. We're barred from doing that. If you'll notice, you see on CNBC and other stations, does this analyst own the stock? What do they do? Well, there's certain conditions on those of us that are in the marketplace and tell clients buy here, sell there. I can describe actions as I am, but you will also notice I'm not telling you buy here, sell there. This is what I think the pros are doing, and I'm following the charts as I'm seeing them, but I'm not offering you specifics. They are in my morning videos. So that is where I'd like you to go. You can get your user ID, your password, and see them by going to iraepstein.com and go to the keyword research. So it's iraepstein.com, go to the keyword research, or you can move your cursor up here. It'll take you to that way. Sign up. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you ideally in the morning again. Take care.